How's it going, YouTube? Dan the Plastic Man here. I hope you guys are doing well. Well, time for another Snapshot review, and because I'm working on the Tallgeese 3 and I have the Tallgeese 2 to give you guys a full review of, let's take a look at the first Tallgeese. And as you can tell, I've given a pseudo TV show look to mine, because everything on this kit that is black was either a light sky gray, lighter than this color, or it was a dark navy blue. And I did not like any of that, so I made it look like the TV show. So, let's go ahead and get into posability. Shoulder will rotate 360 degrees, as long as you can keep it out of the way of the shoulder pod, which is actually connected into the back right here, instead of actually being connected onto the shoulder. The shoulder will also rotate 360 degrees right underneath the arm. You've got an interesting armor sliding gimmick on the elbow, and you get a 160, I want to say, out of that. The hand is your standard thumb and interchangeable fingers for the wing kits, seed kits, and sadly a lot of what's coming out now. But it rotates 360 in the ball socket, and then it'll wiggle. Now, the head will give us the full Exorcist 360 degrees, and will rotate, will tip back and forth. You'll notice the neck also goes with it. Here's a painting tip, because when I got this kit, the eyepiece came as clear plastic, so I actually just grabbed some Tamiya clear blue and threw it over that. The torso, we have a single ball joint, I should say, to allow for some serious ab crunching. There's another joint right here that connects the waist section to the torso. You cannot get a full turn on that, but this joint right here can be a little loose. The cockpit opens up easy enough, and you can see Zex inside there. The legs, let me get the arms out of the way, will sadly only go this far out side to side, and that's just because of the hip armor. But what you might notice is the hip armor is linked, which really is cool with posing gimmicks. But now, because there is no front skirt and almost no back skirt, you get a very far forward kick. But because of the back skirt and it being kind of frozen in place, you only get that far back. Now, the armor sliding gimmick is present again in the knee, with being able to do this, which is, excuse me, I'll call that a 170, even though the armor is touching. Man, I am hiccuping. I apologize, guys. The ankles are pretty good. You can do a full rotation on the foot, side to side, and then the toe itself will also rotate, and the front of the toe will move, but the rest of the foot is a solid piece. And that does it for posability. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, it doesn't. We'll take a look at the thruster pods real quick, because you have to actually pull on the bottom of the pod to get it to open. When it does, this piece opens up, and then the thrusters themselves pop out. Now, the wing actually extends that inner thruster. So if you open it up, the thruster will extend down. And here is the other pod. Now, in the TV version, this was all the thrust that the Tallgeese had, but because this is the master grade and it's a quote-unquote Katoki redesign, we've got two extra thrusters hidden right here in the back skirt. So now the extra thrust helps add to the lore of this suit being able to basically kill its own pilot. But that's it for all the posability. I do not know why my allergies are giving me such fits today. And if you see this guy moving around, it's because there is one piece that is hideously loose on this kit. Well, it's not, I wouldn't say hideously loose, even though I just did. it's just put on bad. And it's these pieces right here on the bottom of the legs. Any slight downward press on them is going to make them pop loose. I mean, you can put them back on easy enough, but it's still annoying. So, on to accessories. You can see that there is a beam saber handle in his hand. That came off of the shield, which has a spot for 2 of them. Now, the typical blade that they give you is a red curved blade. I do not actually have that down here with me, but I do have the Hainu Verkaz straight blue blade, and I've always been a massive fan of blue colored beam sabers, and I think this really works the way it's set up. I just wish it had a curve to it. So the shield plugs in to the shoulder right here. I am dropping pieces everywhere. But first you've actually got to get the panel open, and then the shield plugs in. Plugs in. Oh, that's how I did it. 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that. Just, it was fighting me, obviously, and I had to figure out why. Now, the other accessory is the Dober gun. We've got a clear scope that I also threw the blue on. And this piece came in a dark navy, so I went ahead and painted it black. We've got a second handle here. And we actually have a very cool gimmick where there's actually a spring in this gun, and if you press on the barrel, you will see that this piece drops down, and if this was painted like by a pro, this is supposed to be an empty shell ejecting from the magazine. And then when it closes up, it's supposed to bring in a new round. I can't remember. No, the ammo pack does not separate. Now, the hand getting into this thing is hideously difficult, and because I've already got the saber hand down here, that's kind of what I'm going to leave it as. But it also just plugs in to the shoulder, like so, and tucks up back behind. With the accessories on, he is pretty balanced, but not fully. Believe it or not, these back pods make him pretty back heavy. So I have an action base, and let me go ahead and get him on the action base. And once he is on, is that in? Once he's on, as you can see, the leg's just dangling. Once he's on, he's not really going anywhere. It's a pretty tight connection. And that does it for the review of the Master Grade Tallgeese. Let me know what you guys think of the video. If you liked it, please leave me one. If you could leave me a comment too, I'd appreciate that. And subscribe to me. And I will talk to you guys at the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.